Hi there, it's Misty. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm back this week to share the latest Simon Says Stamp Wednesday challenge. I kind of took a couple weeks off with it being Labor Day and my son's birthday. Things got kind of crazy, so I am back with a new challenge. The challenge this week is called Pop It Up, and we are featuring Lawn Fawn products. I had so much fun making this card. I had never made a pop-up card before, so this was a lot of fun, and it's definitely not as challenging as I thought it was going to be. I was quite intimidated by the pivot pop-up die, but it was really easy to use. As you can see in the beginning of this video, I did a lot of ink blending on this card. I'm going to use Distress Oxide inks, and I'm also going to use regular Distress inks. So here I'm cutting, I'm ink blending Distress inks, the Twisted Citron and Maude Lawn, and I'm cutting just a strip for the grass part of the pop-up, and I'm blending on Bristol Smooth cardstock. Now I didn't know what I wanted to do with the top part of the card or the front of the card, so I did two panels. I did an ink blended one, which you'll see here shortly, and then I also did just a cloud panel. With it being fairies, I was thinking, maybe it would go up into the clouds or something, but it didn't work for the inside of the card, so I just used it for the outside. I'm using the same colors here. I'm doing, what was this? This was Mermaid, Lagoon, and Blueprint Sketch, but these were in the Distress inks instead of the Distress Oxide ink. So the inside is the Distress Oxides, and the cloud was just the Distress inks. Yes, lots of ink blending, but I really love these colors together. So this is the top part I decided to use. This is side by side, just trying to figure out which one I'm going to want to do on the inside top of the card, if that makes sense. But I really love how it faded off into that blueprint sketch. Turned out really pretty. I had to cut out most of the Copic coloring just because this video was turning out to be quite long. I know, I think I say that every video, but I try to leave some of the Copic coloring in just because I love to watch Copic coloring. But I couldn't do it with this video. So I just left in me coloring this little fairy house here. So I thought it turned out really cute. Love the colors on this. And yes, I did color most of these images you see here. Some of them I did duplicates just in case I messed up, like on the little house here. I stamped that out a couple times, but most of the flowers and the like dragonflies and the fairies, I used most of them on this card. And I'll list all the colors that I used over on my blog, because there was quite a few. For this little fairy house, I used the E70s for the bottom part of the house, which I really like the E70, 71, and I think I used 74. Did I use a third color on this? I can't remember. But 70, 71, and 74 look really good together. And then for the top part of the house, I used R2, R12, and R32. It was an interesting color combination for me. I probably wouldn't have matched those together myself, but I used my hex chart and those colors were close together, so I think they look really good together. I think it turned out really cute. And while I have a second here, I have to let you know that Stamptember is going on at Simon Says Stamp. For the whole month of September, they have really great, there's all kinds of new release. Well, they have a new release, and then there's all kinds of collaborations with other companies, and it's only for the month of September. So be sure to head to the Simon Says Stamp store and check out all the fun new products they have going on right now. And once they are gone for good. So you might want to check back often. I know I am. I gotta start saving for this event like I save for Christmas each year. Because every year it comes around and I just can't get as much as I want. All right, so this is everything colored. All my flowers and mushrooms and fairies and everything's ready to go. I'm just I laid them out to see where I wanted them to go. So I kind of know where to put them. And I'm going to add some water drops to my ink blended backgrounds, plural, just to give us some, some interest. So the one on the left with the squeezed lemonade there at the bottom, that is the bottom part of the card, and then the one next to it is going to be the top part. And the long strip there is going to be for the pop-up, the pivot pop-up portion of the card. I'm really, really loving these colors together. And the pop of green grass, I think, goes really well with them too. So this is the part that pops up and twists. And so I had to make it long enough to cut this part out twice. So when you cut it out, you're gonna cut out one way, and then you're gonna flip the die over and cut it out the other way. So that way, you see the two tabs there are gonna meet together. Now, Lawn Fawn has a really great video to watch to show you how to put this together. Really simple video. I watched it once and I knew what to do. So for these little panels, you're going to fold it in like a book, and then the little tabs you're going to fold out like away from you. And then the score tape is what they suggest in the video, or that's what they used in the video, and I too think it's the best adhesive to use on this. So here's my score tape. I think this is 1/4 inch score tape. And then those two tabs are gonna fit together like a puzzle. And everything has score lines, so you don't have to guess, where to score it or where to fold it. It's already there for you on the little grassy part and also on this this pivot part. So it's really nice. You gotta watch the Lawn Fawn video. So I'm just gonna use some more adhesive to tape down my little grassy hill. And then they suggest once you put the pivot together, just to keep folding it and keep closing it until it kind of gets, kind of worn in, I guess. And this pivot part fits perfectly on an A2 size piece of cardstock. So here it has the score down the center, and you're going to fold it away from you. And then once you open that back up, then you'll see two more diagonal score lines, and then you're going to fold both of those towards you. I don't know why I was so intimidated by this. Now that I've done it, I'm like, such a pro now. I totally know what to do. I can do it in my sleep now. Not really. So the panels are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but since they're going on the inside, they were a little bit too big. So I just used the largest stitched rectangle die and cut both the top and the bottom, so it fits in there perfectly. I'm using this little, it's a little nail file just to shave off the little, I don't know, paper hairs. I don't know if they're even called paper hairs, but that's what I call them, paper hairs. The cardstock was already cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so there was just very little that trimmed off, but it was enough to leave little paper hairs. If I know I'm kind of a little bit delirious right now. It's 6:30 in the morning and I haven't gone to bed yet. I didn't start editing this video until like 10:30 last night, and so I figure I can sleep while the boys are in school. So haven't gone to bed. I'm not drinking coffee because I'll be up all day. So I'm kind of having a hard time with words. You know how you feel like when you're hungover? Just not really all there? That's kind of how I'm feeling right now. Haven't been hungover in years. Well, I haven't drank in years, I guess I should say, but it's kind of how I'm feeling. Okay, back to the card. So, at the last minute, after I already glued the panels inside, I decided I wanted to heat emboss the sentiment on the inside. So I'm just very carefully gonna heat this up. I don't want my paper to warp, so I'm gonna try to hit it quickly and hopefully it'll be painless. So really the top is really the only place I had left on the card to put the sentiment, so that's where it's gonna go. I was nervous about this, but this heat gun is really great because it heats up really hot, and so you can melt it really quick. And then I just quickly put my hand over it to kind of flatten it. I think I even stick it in my little grit paper here for a second because it did warp it a little bit. So here's the little pivot part that I was folding. And it did, okay, yes, my head is in the way, but it does say you got to get right over the top of it because that little hole in the center of it is so that you can line it right in the center of your card where it folds. So you have to get right over the top of it. That time it wasn't my fault. Usually it is. So I'm just using more score tape on both sides of that little arrow. And there's a little pivot. Now, after watching, you got to watch the Lawn Fawn video, but the reason they named this die what they did, you got to watch their video, but every time I think of this card or say the name of this die, I think of why they named this die the way what they named it. I'm not telling you, you're gonna have to go to the Lawn Fawn channel and watch, but it's pretty funny. So I was thinking I was gonna have to like cut a little hole and try to put my little lamp on there, but that was just too complicated. So I just glued it on to my little stem. I think this is the stem. And then I just drew a little black hook on one side so it looks like it's wrapped around the little green thing. I don't know what it is. I think it's for the lantern, maybe. But I think it's, I don't know. Don't ask me. I really shouldn't be doing this video in my condition right now. So once you get the center part here, you pretty much have it. I mean, it's pretty much done. The only thing, like I said, it says to do is to open and close it, and you're gonna have to guide where it pivots. You're gonna have to guide it a couple times until it closes by itself. Where I went wrong is the fairy on that little pivot part. I thought it was okay to stand up because I didn't think it was going to get in the way, but it does get in the way. So next time I will not be doing that. But for this one, I don't know. I liked it popped up a little bit, so I'm okay with guiding it every time I close it. More ink blending, same colors. I wanted to kind of match the front of the card to the inside of the card. And then here's where I'm just going to use the cloud panel that I did. I know the outside's so simple, but I feel like the inside has so much going on that I wanted a more simple card front. And this happy, happy, happy stamp set was perfect because this card just makes me so happy, and that's really why I wanted to use these happy words. So I just got the Simon Says Stamp embossing ink, and I like it. I was trying to stamp it each time in between two colors. I just like it when it has like an ombre look to it, but I also didn't want to waste this whole panel. So the top one you can't tell as much, but the bottom one you can definitely see the ombre color to it. It's really pretty. So I just stuck with the white embossing powder. I thought that went best with this. And then I'm gonna do it 2 more times and cut them out with the matching dies. I chose the Journaling Alphas die by Neat and Tangled for the birthday part of the sentiment. I really love this these dies. They're versatile. I just love how skinny they are. And I did it in black just to kind of give it a pop of not even a pop of color, because there's all kinds of color, but just a kind of pop of black, you know. And then I went over the black with the Spectrum Noir glitter pen. There's lots of sparkle in this card, lots of glitter. But glitter is to be expected on a fairy card, I think. I think all the fairies' hair and their wings and all the flowers have glitter on it. And that's it. That's my video for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this card that I made for the Simon Says Stamp Wednesday challenge. All the supplies that I use are listed and linked in the description below. I'll also have them over on my blog. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. And while you're there, click on that little bell icon so that you won't miss any of my videos. I post 1 video a week, usually. I'll see you next Wednesday with another card. Thanks. Bye.